Ching with HustlePaintball.com, and today we're looking at Paintball Basics, ball chop versus barrel breaks. Now, I know a lot of you know what that is, but aren't too familiar as to what happens during either, so we'll look at both today. The end result of a ball chop and a barrel break are the same. The paint breaks inside the gun and leaves it dirty. The only difference is a ball chop happens here, inside the gun, because the bolt is slicing the paintball in half and leaving all that paint. A barrel break happens, well, inside the barrel, and that happens somewhere between the bolt hitting the ball and the ball trying to leave the barrel. So today we're going to look at what exactly happens and how you can tell which one it is. With me here today is the Tippmann Alpha Black Tactical and the Evolution 3 loader. Now, they're going to help me demonstrate what it means to have a ball chop happen. We're not trying to diagnose every problem because there are different markers out there and they all do different things. But here's 3 common ones that we usually face. First, we start with the loader. Now, it can either be running too fast or too slow. If it is too slow, then it's not keeping up with the gun, and what's happening is the ball's dropping but not getting in the chamber fully, and the bolt is already there to cut it. That causes a chop. If the loader is running too fast, it's forcing more than one paintball into the chamber at once, and the bolt is having issues and it will cut both paintballs. Now, the next thing that can happen is on the inside of this chamber here. So let's take a closer look. Now that we've taken the loader off, you can clearly see the chamber that the ball goes into right before it gets shot out. Now, if we can focus in, I don't know if we can, to the inside of that little chamber, there is a little orange piece at the bottom of the chamber. That is known as the detent. Now, what the detent does is it holds the paintball in place, during which time the bolt comes up and hits it. If the detent for some reason is not functioning right, the ball will either slide forward or slightly backwards. In doing so, it'll partially allow another ball to load into the chamber, crowding it. At that point, the bolt will hit both balls and cut them in half. Another issue is with higher end guns, you can adjust the bolt where it sits in the chamber slightly. Doing so, sometimes you arc the gun to shoot or arc it forward to shoot, and the ball will roll backwards or forwards, again allowing another ball to partially load, and at that time chopping the ball again. Now that we've looked at a ball chop, let's look at the second part of this video, a barrel break. A barrel break is when a paintball breaks in the barrel. So, there are 3 things that really cause this. The first being that the gun is dirty. If the barrel is dirty, you greatly increase your chances of a paintball breaking inside the gun a second time. The second is the weather. You might not think it impacts it too much, but when you think about the shells on a paintball gun, you realize that the colder it gets, the more brittle they get. So, cold weather kind of increases your chances of a barrel break as well. This is something that you can't really control. The third and final one is the quality of the paint. If, say, you have a high-pressure gun like a Tippmann or a Spider, it's always better to get lower quality paint because the shells on that paint is thicker and therefore less brittle than, say, a higher quality paint. In cold weather, probably not a good idea to play with high-quality paint since those shells are thin, it's cold, and you're going to increase your chances of a barrel break. This has been it for barrel breaks and ball chops. So let's take a look at what actually happens to the gun with the ball broken inside. This is the chop demonstration. As you can see, I've loaded a paintball partially into the chamber, manually cocked the bolt back, and I'm ready to fire. So I'm going to attempt to break this. As you can see, there is paint everywhere, and if there were a hopper on there, that second half of the paintball wouldn't have just flown all over the room. It would have actually stayed inside the tunnel towards the hopper. Now, what that would have done is blocked any other ball coming down and caused a big mess. This is what happens after a barrel break. As you can see, there is paint oozing out of the portings and obviously something went wrong here. So let's take a look inside. The picture is taken from the clean side of the barrel. As you can see, it is very smooth and streamlined, but as we go further down the barrel, it becomes smudgy or unfocused to the camera. This isn't because the camera is having trouble focusing, but more because there is paint clogging the inside of the barrel. As you can see, this would make it very difficult to play. Now that you know the difference between a ball chop and a barrel break, make sure you clean it up every time it happens to maintain the accuracy of your marker. And this is it for us today, but please stay tuned for other episodes of Paintball Basics with Hustle Paintball. Please visit our website if you have any questions, comments, or video suggestions. You can always email us at videos@hustlepaintball.com. And as always, please think of us when you think of your paintball needs. Have a great day!